it's Angie. Hope you guys are all doing well today. I am doing fabulous, just enjoying this beautiful weather that we've been having here in Michigan the last few days. Well, we did have a thunderstorm yesterday, but still, it's been nice and warm, and that's good enough for me. It's a beautiful sunny day today. We just had Jeff made us burgers on the grill. It was delicious. So I'm a little bit late getting this WIP and chat up, but that's okay. I wanted to give you guys as much time as I possibly could to get your comments in for the winner of week 1 of the hashtag Run Free DP Along that I'm co-hosting with Mindy from Mindy's Diamond Moment this week, or this month. This was my week to pull a winner. So this would be based on the video that I put out on Monday, because apparently YouTube ate my video that I put out last Thursday, which was my WIP and chat. By the time I realized it, I had already deleted the video from my device, so I didn't have the video anymore, and I just wanted to quick get something out there announcing the prize as soon as I could. So I just put a short little video out on Monday and ask you guys to comment on that to be entered to win this week's prize. This week's prize is, the first thing you'll get is this book, my complete diamond painting logbook. I have this book, another copy of it for myself, and I like to track my stash in here. And it's really has a lot of information that you can put in for each kit. And I really like doing this. I keep track of my orders this way too. That way I know when I ordered something and I mark it down when I've received it, so I know if I'm missing something. Also, it's nice because like with Diamond Art Clubs, you get that small logbook sticker. Fits perfectly on this little image bar that space that they have in there. And so that's all that's in here is you know, there's nothing else, just all these pages are just logbook pages. But I like this book. I have one and I use it for, like I said, for my stash, and it works out pretty handy dandy. The next thing is a tin of Patty Wax Super Sticky. So that's one of my favorite waxes, so I thought I would put that in the giveaway. And the last thing in this giveaway is going to be this gorgeous cover minder from Cover Minders Siobhan on Etsy. Thank you so much to Siobhan for providing this for us for our giveaways for this event. It is greatly appreciated, and she does absolutely magically beautiful work. Her cover minders are just to die for. So it's got this beautiful butterfly with the pearl on its body, and then the wings are like an opalescent, almost like a stained glass, and it's very, very pretty. Love this cover binder. So that is this week's prize. I have gone ahead and let my iPad time out. Okay, I've gone ahead and put in my URL to my YouTube video and loaded the comments, and I have 52 comments on that video. So I'm going to click pick a winner, and it is going to pick our winner for this week's drawing. So I'm just going to do that. And this winner is Melinda Hayward. Melinda says she's working on the Golden Valley. Thank you for co-hosting the event. Well, you're welcome. And congratulations, Melinda. I'm so happy that you won. If you could please email me, my email address is in the About tab of my YouTube channel, or I will put it in the description tab of this video as well. If you could send me an email and include your name and mailing address, I will get the prize in the mail to you as soon as I get that from you. So congratulations to Melinda, and thank you to everybody who entered and is participating. Okay, so before I get started on my diamond painting, I got to show you guys something. And I usually do this on Yarn Yak Tuesdays. And I know not quite as many people watch my Yarn Yak videos as what watch my diamond painting videos. And that's fine. Everybody's, you know, not everybody's into yarny things. But I want to show you why I haven't gotten very far on my canvases. I am working on 2 canvases for this event for the Run Free DP Along. I'm working on this one, which is Nuzzling Wolves. from Diamond Art Club by Katie Lipscomb. And I'm also working on my custom of my dog Bo Duke, and I will work on that one during next week's Whip and Chat. I just wanted to, I needed to work on squares tonight. You ever get that way where like you need to work on a square, or you're so sick of squares and you need to work on a round? Well, I am sick of rounds right now and I need to work on a square. I just need to feel that clicking into place. So that's what we're going to work on tonight, is nuzzling wolves. But have you ever, okay, and this has happened to me not only in crafting projects, but also like in projects around the house, and also even in projects like at work. Certain projects, just for some reason, you just can't stop working on them, and you just want to see it through till it's finished, and you get finished with them like lickety split. Like, for example, when I did Artemisa, which was a large diamond painting by Diamond Art Club that came out last year, probably about this same time last year, I finished that sucker in 7 days. And it was a big diamond painting. I did it in 7 days just because I was loving it so much, I couldn't stop working on it. Well, I've got a project like that I started on, did I start it Saturday or Sunday? I started it either Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember which. Probably Sunday. I think I started Sunday, yeah. Anyway, last week, and Maddie and I went to a local little yarn shop, and actually it's called the Little Yarn Shop, here in our hometown, and we did a little bit of shopping, and I got some yarn and bought a pattern for a dress to make for one of my granddaughters. And I started that dress, and I just haven't been able to stop working on it. So this is what I have been working on. Tell me that isn't the cutest. Isn't that? And this yarn all came from, well, I'm into the second cake of it right now. But I did color control it a little bit, because the way it started, the cake started, was the pink, and then it went to the yellow and pink. But then I needed to start about right here. I needed to start a new cake. And so then it would have gone back to more solid pink. And I didn't want to do that just then. So I went halfway through the cake and I cut it so that I was getting all the yellow and flecked in the same area. And I've got about 5 more rows to go of just this, of the solid, part of the skirt. And then I'm going to do another of these decorative rows that has the shells and puff stitches in it. And that will be the last row, will have the shells and puff stitches. But I've done all this. This is a 2-weight sport weight yarn, so it's quite a thin yarn. I've done all this since Tuesday. I'm super proud of myself. Or not since Tuesday, since Sunday. So I'm super proud of myself. But this has just been one of those projects that I just can't stop working on. And now, especially, I want to get it finished because, and that's the next thing I'll tell you about, what I'm going to be doing this weekend. And I might not, it depends on how things go, but I may or may not be going live this Saturday coming up. We decided to I'm going to go down to Detroit tomorrow with my daughter Emily and her 2 girls, my granddaughters, and we are going to spend the night at Maddie's house, get some dinner and just hang out with the girls. The girls are 2 and 4, 2.5 and 4.5 actually. They're almost 3 and 5. And then on Saturday morning, we are going to take them to the Detroit Zoo. So we're supposed to still have good weather here for the weekend. So there is a chance of rain on Saturday, but I think we're just going to brave it and take some umbrellas maybe, and we're going anyways. So we're just gonna pray for a sunny day and hope for the best, and take the girls and go do something fun at the zoo. And this was as a thank you gift from Maddie's boyfriend, Austin, to Emily. He's treating Emily and the girls to this trip to the zoo because Emily came down for 2 days while they were moving and went down there and helped them move. And she helped a ton. She was just a workhorse. I don't think they could have done it without her. She was just, and Emily really is. if you need something done, Emily's a workhorse. Just absolutely she go nonstop working person, and she gets down to business, and she really kicks butt. She's a really good worker. She always has been. I don't know if I've ever told the story of about Emily and her work ethic. When she started taking dance classes when she was almost 3 years old. So she started like the 1st of September, and her birthday's on the 25th of September. So she started dance class at just about exactly 3 years of age. She took dance classes her entire childhood. Then, when she was about 14 years old, the owner of the dance school asked her if she would like to be a teacher's aide in some of the dance classes and for the preschoolers. So she was just absolutely, thrilled to be invited to do that. And I was absolutely thrilled because it meant that some of her lessons we didn't have to pay for some of her lessons. And she was in quite a few classes at that time. And at that time, she was even in competition dance. So we would have to go out of town to these dance competitions, and spend the night in a hotel. And we're not wealthy people, and so that was quite costly. And then with all of the costumes, anybody who has kids that has been in dance knows what I'm talking about. Costumes are just ungodly expensive, and then that on top of the weekly lessons. So we did get a little bit of a discount for her working at the studio. Plus, she did get paid as well. She did that from the time she was 14 until she graduated from high school. By the time she graduated from high school, she had graduated to being a lead teacher for the preschoolers. So for her last 2 years there, she was the lead preschool teacher. And it was something I was very, very proud of her for. She was an excellent role model for those little kids, and it was something she really, really enjoyed doing. Dance was her life. To this day, she is still always dancing. Like, if we're sitting at the kitchen table, she's tip-tapping her feet. You know what I mean? If we're, standing around, she's tip-tapping her feet. She's always dancing. I think it's kind of like just a subconscious thing that she's always doing. So not only did she do dance class, she was in 5 classes plus taught. She was at the dance studio 6 out of 7 days a week from the time she was 14 until the time that she went off to college after she was turned 18. And in addition to that, she got another part-time job at the dance store. There's a store in our privately owned store in our, well, of course it's privately owned, but a store in our area that was owned by a woman who had a daughter who danced, and it was a dance supply store. So they sell everything from shoes to tights to leotards to, hair accessories, anything dance related. And they do fittings for shoes, because if you know anything about dance, certain shoes have to fit a certain way, like point shoes, if you're doing point ballet, have to fit a certain way. So she was taught how to do all the fittings and everything, and she worked at the dance store as well as at the dance studio. And she is almost 28 years old, and to this day she still fills in and works at the dance store when they're short, when they are getting a jam and need somebody. So that's a connection that she still has, and it's kind of nice because one of the other ladies who works there with her, and it's hard for me to even call her a lady because she actually grew up with Emily. She was 2 grades ahead of Emily, but she was also an assistant teacher at the same time Emily was. And they've known each other since they were young teenagers. And she also still works at the dance store. So it's kind of cool that she still gets to be a part of that community even after all these years of, being out of the studio, so to speak. I wish she would get back into dance. not as a student, but I wish she could get back into it as a teacher. She really enjoyed spending that time with those young kids, and she was so good at it. She was just really, really good at it. And some people are natural born teachers, and Emily is that. She's a natural born um, caregiving teacher type. Um, and unfortunately, she does have a degree in early childhood development with a minor in family studies. So it wouldn't take much for her to get a teaching certificate and actually teach, like teach school. But unfortunately, she has zero interest in that. So even though I feel like that's her strong suit, she doesn't. She just doesn't have any interest in that whatsoever. So I'm not going to push it. And I can't. I mean, she's almost 28 years old. I can't really push it. But so a lot of people do bring it up to her. You should be a teacher, and she just kind of rolls her eyes and says, "Yeah." But that's just, you gotta, if you know you're not gonna enjoy it, and if you're not passionate about it, there's no sense in putting yourself through it. You know what I mean? Something that you're gonna detest. So, but I think if she just could get back into the dance teaching a little bit and just had that instructional time, that's more recreational than academic. I think she might enjoy that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what she might decide to do that someday. But anyways, what was the point of my story? The point of my story was that she's a hard worker. So because she worked so hard with Austin and Madeline, getting them moved into their new place 2 weeks ago, Austin is treating her and the girls to a day at the zoo on Saturday. So this is Austin's way of thanking her for all of her hard work and for her being away from her kids for a couple of days. And it was, which I think is just a sweet, sweet, sweet thing to do. Austin is such a special guy. He's just really one of a kind. You can't, I can't tell you how thrilled I am that my daughter has found someone who is such a wonderful man. He is, I can't think of a negative thing to say about him. He's polite, he's kind, he's generous, he's everything. He's just, I don't know how she got so lucky, because Maddie's like me. She can be a bit demanding and a little bit of a princess. You guys know that I'm kind of a princess, or I get treated like a princess anyways by Jeff. He really takes very good care of me. And I'm just so thankful that Maddie was able to find someone that does the same for her and that treats her so well. But I just thought that was a sweet, sweet thing for Austin to do, was to arrange for that trip for us to take the girls to the zoo. So I got invited along because I'm Granny, and of course Granny gets to go along to the zoo. And yes, my granddaughters do call me Granny. I'm Granny and my husband is Grampy. So we're Granny and Grampy, and it's adorably cute when they say it, and I love it. So that's what I've got going on this weekend. So I may or may not be going live Saturday night, depending on what time I get home, how tired I am. Emily and I are going to drive together down to Detroit tomorrow. So because gas is so outrageously priced, that what's the sense of taking two vehicles? We'll ride together, which means I'm going to be in Detroit for as long as Emily wants to. I don't know if Emily plans on staying there on Saturday night as well, or if she plans on coming home after we're done at the zoo Saturday, or what. We haven't talked about it yet. So it'll depend on that too, and whether I'm home or not. But so I just thought I'd give you guys a heads up about that. But if I am home and I do go live, I hope that you guys will all come and hang out. I am going to start going live at 8:45 on Saturdays rather than waiting until 9 o'clock. Just because Mindy's live gets over with at 8:30, and I was just sitting around and waiting for a half hour between hers and mine. So I figured, why not just shorten that up a little bit to 15 minutes difference. That way, if she runs over or anything like that, where I wouldn't be overlapping her. But yes, so I'm going to be starting my lives now at 8:45 instead of 9 o'clock. Is going to be my regular schedule. So let's talk about the week. How did you guys' Mother's Day go? I hope that everybody had a wonderful Mother's Day. My Mother's Day was very, very good. Usually we don't do much for Mother's Day and Father's Day. We're pretty low key. This year was a little bit different. We actually did get out and about and do some things. And first Sunday at about noon, I went with Madeline over to her grandmother's on her dad's side. So my ex-mother-in-law. So I went with her to my ex-mother-in-law's house, and we had lunch with her and Emily and the girls. And that was nice. It was nice to see Grandma Judy. I haven't seen her, and well, I guess it's probably been about a month since I've seen her. But it was nice to sit and visit with her. She is 87 years old now, and she's still living at home alone. And she took another fall. What was it? Friday night last week. And I'm really trying to encourage my daughters to kind of get on their dad's case and start looking for some either at-home care for her, or maybe at least one of those like bracelets that is like the medic alert bracelet where you push the button and it dials the registered numbers that you have in there, because she fell and she couldn't get up and was able to pull the phone down. Where she fell was near the phone. She was able to pull the phone down to the floor by the cord and call my ex-husband. And this was at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And so he drove out there, and because she lives about 20 minutes away, he drove out to her house, and he could not get her up by himself. So he called a friend of his that lives out there, and he didn't answer. And so he called and called and called, and he didn't answer. So finally, he just took off and drove over to his buddy's house, leaving his poor mother laying on the living room floor. And got him out of bed and went over there, and they were able to get her up and into her chair at least. And thankfully, she's got some bruises, but thankfully nothing more serious happened. I told her, I said, she must have, because she has fallen quite a few times and has never broken anything. And I told her, you must have bones of steel. And she said that her doctor did tell her that she has very strong bones. So because she had a bone density test a while ago, I guess, and they said that she has very strong bones for a woman her age. So she got really, really lucky. But I'm so scared that something like that's going to happen. And what if she weren't able to get to a phone? So my ex-husband is really, really good about taking care of his mother. He either sees her or talks to her every day. To check on her, he makes sure that she has groceries, make sure she has meals, that are prepared for her to eat, so she doesn't have to, she's not going hungry, and make sure she's eating right, and takes her to her doctor's appointments and her hairdresser appointment and all of that stuff. So he's a really good son in that way, in terms of taking care of his mom. And which is a godsend, because I shudder to think where she'd be without him. But she's a really strong, independent woman, and would not be keen to not living in her home anymore. I think it would be devastating to her mentally, but I also think that it would knock her down physically too. I think that I think it would deal such an emotional blow that it would really slow her down physically too, if she were to not live at home alone anymore and go into some sort of assisted living facility. She is very, very adamant that that's not something that she ever wants to do. And so, you know, we're just doing the best they can, you know, with her. Unfortunately, my ex does have a brother, but he lives 3 hours away up in northern Michigan. And so it all falls onto my ex-husband's shoulders, all of her daily care, which, you know, is that fair to him? Probably not, but it's his mother and he loves her and he'll continue to take care of her for as long as he needs to. And I think that, you know, that's admirable. It's an admirable quality. Jeff and I have often talked about, you know, if heaven forbid something were to happen to her dad, or to his dad, you know, about what would happen with his mother. And we've already agreed that, you know, we would take care of her if that meant her moving in with us, or, you know, us going there at least temporarily. We would definitely make the same sacrifice, you know, if and when that time ever comes. Thankfully, Jeff's parents are a little bit younger and pretty healthy, so hopefully, you know, that's not something we have to worry about for a long, long time down the road. But Jeff's sister, he only has one sister and she lives in Nashville, so it'll be kind of the same kind of situation where Jeff will be the only child that's, you know, in the vicinity that's around to help take care of his parents or his mom as they get older. So, but it's just it's a you know, it's just one of those things. They took care of us. I was this way with my grandmother who passed away. I've talked about her before and how close I was with her. You know, she was very adamant that she did not want to be placed in assisted living, and so when she was sick one time, she had a lingering like flu-like illness. I ended up staying with her for about a month. And I had my two little girls, and I was working full time, and I was going to school full time, and we just made it work, you know. We did eventually have to hire an in-home caregiver for her to stay with her during the day while I was at work, but she was able to stay home until the very, very end of her life, which was really me. I felt strongly about, because she felt strongly about it. You know, and one thing about my ex-mother-in-law, she is and it was the same way with my grandma. They are she completely has her right mind and her wits about her. I mean, she's one of the smartest women I've ever met. And she's completely, as far as, you know, memory loss or dementia or Alzheimer's or anything like that, there's nothing like that going on. It's just that her body's getting older, you know, and she just can't do the same things that she has always done and wants to do. So we'll just do our best to take care of our loved ones. I think that we all do that to the best extent that we can. But yeah, so that was so we did that on Mother's Day. We went out there and had lunch with Grandma Judy. And then when we left Grandma Judy's, I brought my granddaughters home with me because they wanted to feed the chickas. That's what they call them, the chickas. They wanted to feed the chickas and collect eggs. So this is so funny, you guys. All right, so we've got chickens, right? And my chickens lay eggs. Well, Jeff usually is the one who goes out and collects the eggs every day. He'll go out, give them water, give them treats, make sure their food is good, and collect the eggs. So the girls, when we were at Grandma Judy's, said, can we come over and feed the chickas and get eggs? And I said, well, sure, you know, come on out. Yeah, you can ride home with Granny and we can just feed the chickas and get eggs. So I texted Jeff real quick and I was like, Jeff, if you've already gotten the eggs today, could you please put them back out into the nests so the girls can collect the eggs? Because the last time they came over, Grampy had already taken all the eggs out of the nest and the girls were highly disappointed that there were no eggs out there. So we get back here, and I've got the girls, and they get out of the car, and the first thing they want to do is run out to the chicken coop so they can collect the eggs. So I get a carton, and we go out, and I get some treats to take them, and we go out there, and we feed the treats, and then we go in the coop to collect the eggs. And the girls, I mean, they know right where to go in the nesting boxes and stuff, and they're taking the eggs one by one and putting them into the carton, and all of a sudden I see some. Now I have brown egg laying chickens, and I have green egg laying chickens. And yes, I have chickens that lay green eggs. Their eggs are green and blue. They're called Americana is the breed of chicken, and they lay green and greenish blue eggs. So, you know, I'm used to seeing not normal colors when, you know, in chicken eggs. But I looked and I saw like a pink egg, and I thought, well, it was dark in the coop, you know, it's not real well lit in there. And I thought, well, that's kind of a weird looking egg. And then Marie picked it up and she's like, Granny, what is this? And it was an Easter egg, you know, like the plastic ones that open. And she's like, what is this? And she opened it up, and it had a fruit roll-up in it. And she's like, how did this get here? And she was just mystified as to how the chickens laid this fruit roll-up egg. And so they're collecting them, and then there was another one, and Lila got, you know, the other one. And then she said, she came out of the chicken coop and she was cracking up, and she's, Grampy, did you put these in there? She was so smart. She's like, Grampy, did you do this? And he was like, yes, I did. And she was just, it was, I guess it was one of those things where you had to be there. But it was just so funny. She was laughing so hard. It was just adorable. So we did that, and then we went over to my in-laws' house, and we took the girls with us, and Emily was here then, and Maddie too. So all of us as a family, and I gotta think that's the first time we've gone anywhere as like a nuclear family unit in probably years, that I have had my husband, all 3 children, and my granddaughters all together, and we went somewhere. Literally, it's been years. So we went over to my in-laws, and they live on a lake, and it's a man-made lake, but it's still a very nice lake, and they have a beach in back of their house, and there's like their yard, and then a seawall, and then a beach. And so it was a beautiful day out Sunday, and so I asked the girls, you guys want to go put your toes in the sand? You know, go feel the toes in your sand. And they're like, yes. So we get down there, and we get the toes in the sand, and of course once the toes get in the sand, then the toes want to get in the water. And then of course once the toes get in the water, the feet want to get in the water. And once the feet get in the water, the legs want to get in the water. And then you know what's coming next. It just became... let me just say, this water, have you ever stepped in water, like in a lake or a stream, and the water is so cold that it actually hurts your feet bones? Like your bones actually hurt because the water's so cold. That's how cold this water was. These girls did not care. So Marie had shorts on, so she was good. We just rolled up her shorts so she could walk into about her, you know, mid-thigh level. Lila had pants on, so I took her pants off, so she was just in her diaper. And I, of course, had to roll up my pants because I had to make sure that they stayed safe. I didn't want them, you know, because it doesn't drop off. It's not like a drastic drop off, but you know, the water gets deeper as you go out. It's a beach. And so we're out there, and we're playing, and we're splashing, and we're having a great old time. And next thing you know, Lila, who, bless her little soul, She is about to be 3 years old, and she weighs 29 pounds, which is pretty small for an almost 3-year-old. She'll be 3 on July 25th, 4th, 6th. Boy, I can't even remember her birthday anymore. I think it's the 25th. I think so. Because my sister's is the 26th. And I think she was born the day before my sister. I should probably find that out for sure. I'm having a kind of a mental lapse right now with that. Anyways, but she's pretty teeny for an almost 3-year-old. And she, before I knew it, of course, and this is exactly why I got into the water, because she is the clumsiest kid I have ever seen in my life. She cannot run without tripping and falling. She cannot walk without tripping and falling. She is just so clumsy. Emily actually recently took her to the doctor because she was so clumsy. And, wanted to make sure there's nothing going on developmentally. And she tested fine for everything. So, at this point, she's just a clumsy girl. But she went face first into the water, like fully underwater, fully submerged. And like I said, that water was cold. So I grabbed her out of there as quick as I could, and she was soaking wet, but luckily she was only wearing a t-shirt in her diaper. So we took her t-shirt off, we wrapped her up in a towel to keep her warm for a little while, and got her a new diaper. But then after she warmed up in the sun for a few minutes, she was ready to go back playing. So my mother-in-law got out the beach toys, and they were digging in the sand and building sand castles, and it just really, really, really made me realize how much I missed summer. And it was such a fun day. They had the best time, and it was all very, very low key, low pressure. We didn't have a cookout, we didn't have to make food. We didn't do anything like that. We just hung out. That's all we did. We just stayed there for a little while and hung out and played with the girls, and it was a blast. And then we left and we all went home, and Jeff ended up going back out to the store and cooking steak and shrimp on the grill for us for Mother's Day. And he cooked me a filet mignon, which is my absolute favorite cut of steak. It was big and thick and juicy, and I love my steaks rare. I'd like it if they were still mooing when they put them on my plate. And he cooked it just the way I like it, even though he doesn't like it that way. And he doesn't like cooking it that way for me, but he knows how I like it, and he did it just for me. But we had filet mignon and shrimp and baked potatoes, and it was just delightful. It was just a really, really nice Mother's Day. Nice and peaceful, and it was nice. And of course, I didn't see my mother, but I called my mom and my stepmom and told them all Happy Mother's Day. But gone are the days where, it used to be we would stress out and rush around and try to make it to everybody's house, make sure everybody had a gift and a card, and make sure we had shared a meal with everybody. And over the years, I've just gotten over that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm a mother too. And I don't want to spend my Mother's Day doing nothing but run around places and, and so the past few years, we've just done nothing because I didn't want to. I just plain didn't want to. But this year it was really nice. We did do some things, but it was still low pressure, and it turned out really enjoyable. So let me know if you're mothers, let me know, even if you're not a mother, let me know how your Mother's Day went, because even if you're not a mother, chances are you've got a mother. And let me know what you guys did for Mother's Day, if you did anything special, or if you got anything special as a gift. I saw online some people posting some gorgeous gifts that they got. I didn't get a gift, but I got my steak and shrimp, which was all I needed. It was much more appreciated than any gift that I could have gotten. I had been craving a steak for like a week and a half. That's all I wanted was a steak. So Jeff heard me and got me what I wanted. Um, then what did we have? Oh, I don't even think I told you guys about Nate's band concert. So last Tuesday, a week ago Tuesday, was Nate's end of the year band concert. And Nate's in middle school. He's 13 years old. He's in 7th grade. He plays the alto sax in the school band. So they were having their end of the year band concert, and they do all 3 grades the same night, but separately. So they do it in the gymnasium, and the gym is split up into 3 sections. So the beginning band is on one end, and then the intermediate band is in the middle, and then the advanced band is at the other end. And they did it where each band played 3 songs. So, you know, beginners played 3, intermediate played 3, and then advanced played 3. Nate's an intermediate band because he's in the 7th grade. So it was the first time we have gotten to see all 3 bands play together at the same time. And the reason for that is because of when he started band, because of COVID, we didn't have any. The first year we didn't, no. Was it the whole first year we didn't have any concerts? We had one concert that was virtual. The kids went to the school and recorded the concert, but we got to watch it on Zoom. And then the other end of the year concert last year was split by grade level. So you only got to go to your kids' concert for whatever grade they were in. You didn't get to watch the other grade levels like they did this year, and like they always have done it. So this was the first time that we got to see all 3 bands play on the same night and to watch. It was very, very interesting to listen to the progression of skills from the beginning band going on to the intermediate band and then going on to the advanced band, to see how it ceases to amaze me how much their skills improve in such a short period of time. I mean, we're talking about a 1-year difference in learning this, you know, how to read music and play music, and the skill that they have is just, it's just tremendous. Just it's a really, really cool thing to see, you know, and be able to say, okay, this is where my kid was at last year. That's what he sounded like. And now look at how great he sounds now, how, you know, and how much better. But now look at what he's going to sound like next year. And, you know, he's going to sound even better next year. And so it was just it was really great. And we had a lot of families show up to support him, which was really nice. Emily came. She didn't bring the girls because they would have been monsters. But Emily came, and my mother and father-in-law came, and my mother came, and Jennifer and Sarah came, and my sister Holly came as well. So we had quite the big showing for Nate to support him in his final band concert as a 7th grader. He is excited. So then this Tuesday, today's Thursday, so day before yesterday, Tuesday, we went to the high school to watch my nephew's end of the year band performance. He also plays in the band, and he has been in the band since 6th grade as well. He started out playing the clarinet, and he played the clarinet for 4 years, and then he switched to percussion. So, and he is a senior this year. He's graduating from high school this year. So this was going to be his last time playing anywhere that we would ever get to see him. And I really wanted to make sure that we got a chance to be there for that. And I'm so glad we did, because this was a huge shocker. Now, this is my sister Holly's oldest child. and he's graduating from high school. And so she's very, very emotional about it. Like, she gets teared up just talking about commencements and graduation parties and college and all of that stuff. She tears up. She's just very emotional about it in a good way, but just, makes her tear up every time she talks about it. So we were sitting in the auditorium talking before the concert started, and Mr. Deming, who is the band instructor for both the middle school and the high school, so he's not only Nate's band instructor, but he's also my nephew's band instructor. Holly says to me, I swear he's also very emotional. My sister goes, I swear, me and Deming, we're gonna be the only two sitting here bawling like babies. Him and me, we're just both gonna be sitting here crying at this thing when they announce the seniors. And so we're sitting there, and they announce the seniors, and Mr. Deming talks about how proud he is of them, and all of that. And it was heartwarming, and it was touching, and it was nice. And yes, they both did get a little teary-eyed. But then they had a Marine sergeant came out onto the stage and was going to award one senior from that graduating class with the Semper Fidelis Award, which is award for excellence in band that is given out by the Marine Corps. I don't know if anybody, or if you're not familiar, the Marine Corps famously has brilliant bands, marching bands. And so we're sitting there, and they're reading about how this student that they're going to give this award to exemplifies blah, 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 and leadership and dedication and hard work and blah, 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 and on and on. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's get on with it. I just want to hear my nephew play. I could care less about your Semper Fidelis Award. And so then they say, and this year's, it's with great pleasure that I announce that this year's award goes to Dodge Butler, who is my nephew. So out of the entire senior class, he was chosen to receive this award. And it was, my sister had no idea, my nephew had no idea that he was even in the running for this. And it was so special. It was really, really cool to be able to be there and celebrate that with him. So that was a cool thing. Now, he didn't tear up. My sister cried like a baby, but my nephew did not. He handled it with tact and dignity. He did good. He did really, really good. But then, after hearing the middle school band last week and, being so awestruck by the difference in the skill levels between 6th grade and 8th grade, to then go and listen to the senior symphony band, that was amazing. I mean, they are an award-winning band. Every time they go to, I can't remember the name of this competition that they have here in Michigan, but it's the state's high school band. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, I'm going to kill him. I am going to absolutely kill him. You would not believe what just happened to me. Whew. Oh my gosh. I'm going to kill him. He's going to do it again. I just know he is. So I'm sitting here, right? And right over here is a window that looks out onto my woods. And I told Jeff I was coming in here to record a video. And so I just happened to glance up, and his head popped up in my window. It scared the crap out of me. He is in such big trouble. I'm so sorry for screaming. I probably scared the crap out of you guys just screaming like that. What a jerk. He's in such big trouble. I'm going to get him back. I got to think of a way to get him back. You guys are going to have to help me. He was out there staring at his pool. That's what he likes to do. Sit there and stare at his pool. He loves his pool. I don't know if you guys know or remember, but last summer we got a new pool, and he is going to be opening the pool this weekend. So I think he was out there plotting plotting his course and deciding what he was going to do um, to get the pool up and going this spring, as far as pumping the water off the top of the cover, you know, because you don't want that stagnant water that's been sitting on top of your pool cover. You don't want that in your pool, that water. So he's going to pump the water off the top of the cover, and then he's going to have to add water from the hose to the pool to get it back up to the level that it's supposed to be at. Put a bunch of chemicals in it to get it back to the pH and chlorine status that it needs to be. So he was out working on that when I came in here to record, but he decided he needed to come over here and scare the pants off me. Thanks a lot, Jeff. That's just what I needed. Now I've got, you ever have that feeling of like butterflies in your stomach, of nervousness? Now I've got nervousness butterflies in my stomach because I just keep waiting for him to do it again. Because I know that if he does it again, even though I am telling myself that I expect it, he's going to scare me again. I just know it's going to happen. I'll get scared all over again. Because he's just that kind of a butt face. I tell ya, men, what are you going to do? Can't live with them. Can't kill them. Gotta just put up with them, I guess. Oh, how fun. How fun is this? Not. So anyway, that's just a little bit of what I've been up to this past week. Lots of band concerts and lots of hanging out with family. Lots of doctor's appointments. I'm still doctoring from being sick. I had to go have a test done, another test done today, and get some blood work taken. And so I'm still going through some stuff on the healthcare front. But I am feeling, I'm feeling a lot better. Every day is a little bit better. So hopefully soon I'll be really back to my old self. I can't wait. I'm a little bit worried about walking around at the zoo all day tomorrow, about how I'm going to do. But if I can just take breaks and sit down every once in a while, and the girls know that I'm probably going to have to do that, then we'll be fine. We'll be just fine. Not tomorrow. No, Saturday we're going to the zoo. Not tomorrow. I got tomorrow to rest up. So that's going to be my excuse to be lazy tomorrow, is that I need to rest up for Saturday. How do you like that? Just ask me. I've got an excuse for everything. But anyways, I am going to let you guys go because I'm super nervous now that he's going to come popping in that window. And I'm going to go yell at him. So I hope that you guys are enjoying this event. I've loved seeing everybody's posts on the Facebook group. And I haven't checked Instagram in the last couple of days, but if you do want to post like daily progress, or if you'd like to post progress more often than just once a week, go ahead and post that in Instagram. But for your official entries for the grand prize giveaway, they do need to be posted under the appropriate week in the Facebook group Diamond Moments and Crafts. And there are posts there that say week 1 week 1 start photo, week 2 progress. So right now we're in week 2 of progress. And the week 3 progress will begin on Sunday. That post will be up there. So if you want to get in for the grand prize giveaway, make sure you post your progress there in Facebook. But please feel free to post progress in Instagram as well. We'd like to see all the work and like to, correspond back and forth and that sort of thing. Because that's what the fun part is about doing these events, is the camaraderie and community that we get by working on things together. So congratulations again to the winner this week. And if you did not yet watch Mindy's WIP and Chat from yesterday, she had her prize announcement yesterday for her prize that's going to get drawn next Wednesday. And then next Thursday, I will be announcing my second prize that I will then give away the following week. So we're just, alternating weeks with our weekly giveaways. And yeah. So so there will be a prize given away every week, either by me or by Mindy. And Mindy does post her WIP and chats on Wednesdays. So thank you to everybody who is you know, diamond painting along with us. And if you're not, thank you anyways for listening to me ramble, because I feel like that's all I did for an hour was ramble. I'm not even sure what I even talked about. Probably I'm going to get off here and I'm going to realize all the stuff that I wanted to say that I didn't get to because I got off on a tangent and just started rambling. But I will I'll let you guys go, and I've got a couple of unboxings for you coming up soon, hopefully tomorrow. And if I don't talk to you between now and then, I hope to see you Saturday for my live. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.